Welcome back to Wrestling Empire on the Nintendo Switch, where I am your reigning, defending IC champion in Federation Online, but Edge still has some beef as he was the former champion. But also, I'm going to head over here into the pay-per-view, over to the roster, and say, oh, look at that. I am a face, and the world champion, HBK, is a heel. So why not? Title for title. Let me get a shot, former mentor, HBK. Give me an opportunity at your title. I challenge you. I challenge you. Belt versus belt. But no, we got to keep it friendly. Alright, that's going to affect my attitude. And of course, that's going to be a whole thing here in Fedi Online. Unfortunate, but that was the deal there. We're still friends in some weird capacity, because over here it says Edge my enemy and Monica my friend. So weird, but okay. Anyhow, let's go fight that tag team match, playa, because Monica and Christian could not keep themselves from fighting each other so hard that last match. So here we are, attackslug and Steve Blackman, my partner. Can't wait. Can't wait. The Lethal Weapon is my partner. So I could not ask for anybody better there in Steve Blackman. But let's get it on here. I assume Edge and Christian. Yes, Edge and Christian. The 5-second pose in the building. But I will tell you that the champ is here. And this is non-title because it's a tag team match, playa. So, oh, relax with the solid steel stairs. Relax with the stairs, gentlemen. Relax. Edge already botching it here. Yeah, I've been where you are now, attackslug. I know what it's like to be the IC champion. But also, I want that belt back. I already defended it, Edge. Last laugh match. Last laugh, I had the last laugh. So, yes, this feud now is ongoing. And we'll see how things run out here. But Edge, you were a loser then, and you're a loser now. And me and Steve Blackman gonna take you down to Slugtown. Anyhow, welcome to a fine, what is today? Thursday? It's Thursday. The week ain't over yet here on the show. And Edge continues to want to get his neck broke by your boy. Monica backing me up here. Ding dong. Hello. Hello, Edge. How you doing? How you living? How you feeling after 7 straight falls in that last laugh match yesterday? How you feeling? So I'm going to take you down in this tag team contest. I don't even need Steve Blackman. I don't even need him. I'm good. Like, I am 100% okay with where I'm at here in my championship reign. Powerful, Edge. Powerful. So don't you worry about little old Sluggy stomping him into the dirt in a 2 count. That's okay, though. That's okay. Now, last time I was a mid-card champion, we had some issues with that TV title. We had a 16-man Battle Royal deal, and I lost it to Dr. D. And then I lost the rematch in explosions, just absolute setup. So I'm a little wary here of being champion in this place, in this new company. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. And I am the champ. The champ is here. So can I continue to retain this title successfully in Fedi Online is the question. I don't know. This game is random and crazy, so DDT. And here comes Christian, breaking it up. Because of course he would. Of course he would. He's here not on his own, but he's here regardless. So can I spear to Edge? 1. Christian, look, Steve Blackman, could you help me out here? You are lethal, so could you help me out a little bit as I completely and totally decimate the Edgester here? Boom! 1, 2, and you couldn't. Oh, come on. I had that. I had that. Oh, look at that. One-winged angel on Christian. Onto that solid steel. Edge is still, like, disqualified. Look, man. Here comes Steve Blackman. I didn't know it was a by elimination match there. I had no idea. I had no idea. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so I got DQ'd and Blackman picked it up and made it happen. Thank you, Steve Blackman. Much obliged on that. Oh, look at that. The Face Buster strikes again. The Macho Man is heading to Fetty Online. Join us, Macho Man. Join us. Bobby Eaton and Monsoon defeat Bruno and Bulldog for the Tag Team Championships. Super Lucha Libre have stripped Sin Cara of his title. He can't defend it. Medusa, the new champ. Wasn't she the first champ? Like, it's just back to her. Mosh defeats Big Vis to win that title. And Monsoon wants me back in Maple Leaf Grappling. I'm okay where I'm at right now. I am the champion. And I worked so hard to earn that championship that I don't want to leave just yet, Monsoon. I don't want to leave just yet. So let me defend it for a little bit first, and then maybe in the next 17 weeks, go somewhere else. But I'm okay with my spot here right now in Fetty Online. And also, for the first time, I think, in this show so far, I've got almost the entire roster except for one question mark. Whoever in the hell this is, this mystery man, but I've actually got the whole roster otherwise. So that's the first time here on this show. Now then, we have Taka Michinoku in a non-title confrontation. Non-title, in my street clothes, the champ is here. No mic, just pose. Just pose. The champ is here! Now then, what could Taka Michinoku possibly have taken issue with me on, besides being the reigning defending IC champion? Does he want a match on pay-per-view, is the question. Do you want to fight the Slug? Taka, what's your deal? I'm tired of being mentioned in the same breath as you. It's time to change the conversation with two mics. Change it. Everyone talks like I'm your inferior. We both know I've been your superior. And I'm sure you prefer me to stay in the shadows, but my light is too bright for that. I'm gonna knock your lights out, Taka. Taka is going to get knocked out with this title belt. That's where we're going here, Mr. Michinoku and your pro. Anyhow, it is a Thursday, which means that AEW was on the road last night for Road Rager. They are back finally with a crowd, and man, it was so good to hear a crowd last night. Even if one of the fans tried to get in the ring during the MJF and Jericho face-off. Like, don't get in the ring. You will get punched in the mouth. Like, come on now. It's just simple. Idiot. Absolute idiot. And slow security. Like, he almost got into the ring. That was not great. But, regardless, they had a pretty good show. And there was some things to discuss there. There was a brief power outage in that first match between Cody and QT, which was not actually a power outage. It was foreshadowing. And that's always fun to see. They swerved us. I'm like, alright. Lights are out. You know, it's Florida. Things happen, right? Especially in a new venue. Like, things could be, you know, a bit nonsense. And the weather, tropical storm, I get it, right? But they totally swerved us on that. Because later on in the evening, they went out again. And who was there in the building to kick Arn Anderson in the face? It was Malachi Black, formerly Aleister Black. And you were like, wait a minute, it's only been 35 days. And yes, it only has been 35 days, not 90. Apparently, there was a clerical error. There was a issue with their paperwork where his NXT contract, when NXT is 30 days, they never updated it to a main roster deal, which is 90 days. So that error, he swerved us, and appeared on the show and kicked Arn in the face and then kicked Cody in the face. And of course, that blackout happening in the first match, foreshadowing, man. Like, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So yes, Tommy End, aka Malachi Black, is now officially in AEW. And earlier in the day, he had put up a video on Instagram. You know, alright, well, we'll see you in 2 months. He said, no, we'll see you tonight, which is crazy. Ahmed Johnson heading to Maple Leaf Grappling. Bam Bam Bigelow renews his deal in AAW. Buddy Buchanan released by Maple Leaf. Billy Gunn and Drew McIntyre in a heated rivalry on Strong Style Wrestling. Edge is back in the ring. Steve Blackman feels great today. It must feel great to be lethal. What in the nonsense nightmare is this? A 5-way best of 3. You see? You see how they screw me? I win a belt, and they go, no, 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 let's get crazy. I had a singular one-on-one defense of this title, and then now we have a 5-way. So 4 opponents in a best of 3. How does that even work? We're going to find out. Who are my 4 other opponents? I see Doink the Clown in the building. The Champ is here, but Doink is here, and 3 others, so we're going to find out who they are very shortly here. But I'm assuming that either Taka or Edge comes out. So I think that's supposed to be Sheamus with his head shaved. And Doink. And yes, Taka is here. Now we got some things for next week's Dynamite. Number 1, the return of Yuka Sakazaki onto Dynamite. Happy to see that. Her back in the ring here in the States. That's going to be good stuff. Alright, The Miz, Sheamus, Taka, and Doink, I think is the deal here. So that's a thing that's happening on the show today. Okay. So, we'll know for a fact who is the best by the end of this 5-way best of 3. What kind of a nonsense match, man, as the deck gets stacked against me over and over and over. It's ridiculous. So, Shane Asterix. Alright, that is the... We now know who is the last mystery man. It is Shane Asterix. So, good for him. Good for Shane. That's gotta be Shane. Now then, 3D. So, obviously, they're gonna stack this deck here against me in this matchup. Stack this deck. Now, also happening next week, the IWGP US title gets defended. So Mox's whole thing for his baby, that was like, what, a couple of weeks there? If that was a very short Mox is home with his kid thing, because he's back defending against Machine Gun next week. So, alright, cool, do that. Now then, Britt Baker here, making a very interesting comments during her promo about blood money and doing a show in Saudi, and I'm like, man, what are the chances that they try to book Adam Cole on that next Saudi show as a, hey, guess what? Guess what? So yeah, that was a little bit weird, but man, that got an ooh from the crowd, so appreciate that, man. Appreciate crowds being there. Always, always appreciate that. And main event was a retaining of the tag team titles from the Bucks against Kingston and Penta. And that was a street fight, and it was a hell of a street fight, and kudos on that. But yes, those belts got retained, so of course they did. Of course they did. Man, this is going to be a pain in the ass to actually get a victory on any capacity here against anybody, because there's 5 guys, and it's going to get 3 wins. So first to 3 wins, or first to 2 wins, or, man, I don't even know how it's going to work here. But I feel like I'm probably going to lose my belt in this matchup, because conspiracy one more time. Now, in other wrestling and some non-wrestling but wrestling-related type news, we have the XFL has been pushed back to 2023. So it was going to launch next spring. Not anymore. Now it's going to launch spring of 2023. So that's now owned by The Rock in some capacity. So I guess have fun with that, Rock? I don't know. Also in some non-wrestling but somewhat related news, the loss of CM Punk back in 2018 in UFC has been expunged or reversed or whatever, because his opponent apparently had tested positive for weed in that routine pre-fight drug test. And they're only announcing it now for some reason. 3 years later, I don't understand why that's going to happen, but whatever. But also, weed does not make you a better fighter. So if he lost to him on weed, that just makes Punk look that much weaker, to be honest. So that's a little bit of a weird news story, but I seen it in the news, and it's, I guess, worth mentioning. So, look, man, weed stays in your system for so long that it could have been like a month before the fight, but it would still show up on that test. So it's just weird, man. It's just weird all around on that. Now, we have confirmation that the New Japan G1 is happening starting the 18th of September. But considering how it's been these days with states of emergency in Tokyo, that might or might not happen, considering their very, very poor vaccine rollout in Japan, considering the constant states of emergency in Tokyo. It's just going to be weird all around, so I don't know how it's actually going to turn out, if it actually happens this year for the G1 or not. They haven't announced anyone who's in it yet. Rope break in a 5-way is some garbage. The float over. Come on, Miz. I wanted to pin Taka Michinoku. What are you doing? I don't want to get hit with that Michinoku driver, if at all possible. Now, we have some news on the SmackDown show happening in the Garden, which is going to be also in September the 16th, I think is the date on that one. I can't recall. But the Garden has announced that if you are not vaccinated for that show, then you cannot go to that show. So that's interesting for the state of New York. Now, of course, a bunch of idiots are like, well, that's unfair, that's not right, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, if you walk into a 7-Eleven that says no shirts, no shoes, no service, they are well within their legal rights to do so. Same with this. As a private business, they are well within their rights to say, hey, if you don't have the vax and you can't prove it, then you can't come to a show. Wrestling shows are not mandatory. They are entertainment. So you are free to stay the F home if you don't like it. Very simple. Very simple. So that's the deal there with MSG. Those seats are on sale tomorrow for that show. So I'm curious how much they're going to cost there for being a taping at MSG. But that one, I guess we'll find out in the morning tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see. Now, Raw had their rating this week. Apparently it was the lowest rating for Raw ever. And that show is still. Shouldn't be 3 hours, is all I'm saying. It's too long. Just make it a 2-hour show and write it better. But yes, again, they are just in this free fall and they don't care. They keep making billion-dollar deals. They do not care what's happening with that, clearly. Big deals, big money. Miz gets spiked. Can I get one pinfall here for anybody? Oh, good lord, here we go. Pedigree on Doink. Who else wants some? Oh, nobody. The Miz wants some. But I lost my thing there. Doink is now primed to get squashed. That's a rope break. How is anybody supposed to get a pinfall here in this matchup? I do not know. 2. I hate you, Doink. The Miz scored a pinfall. What? Alright, Doink scored a pinfall. Or a tap out. So now Doink and Miz both have 1. I have 0. This is the problem. And The Miz is your new IC champion. And you didn't beat me, Miz. That didn't happen. You didn't pin your boy. You aren't the real champion. So I want my rematch. Thank you very much. That was a 17-minute bit of garbage. Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. I've been sitting here for nearly 40 minutes in this heat with these lights. So no, I am done. Done. Miss Elizabeth gets released. Christian renews his deal. Kane's stamina is up. Hillbilly Jim and Sergeant Acer are friends. And the industry has a charity event on the first week of August. Let me go. 18-man countdown Royal Rumble tomorrow. What? Alright, I'm Attackslug. See you then, and I'm out.